Welcome to Statistics Made Simple, and I am Savita Valsang. In this video, I'll be solving the first PUC Model Paper 2 following the new pattern of the PU board for the year 2024. The first PUC final examination question paper is for 80 marks and the duration of the exam is 3 hours 15 minutes. Following are some of the instructions to be followed. Statistical table and graph sheets will be supplied on request. Scientific calculators are allowed during the examination. All working steps should be clearly shown. And most important, remember that only the first written answers will be considered for section A. So please follow the sequence to answer the question paper. Section A, first mean, choose the correct answer from the choices given. 5 into 1 is equal to 5. First question, statistics is concerned with A, aggregate of numerical facts, B, aggregate of disorganized facts, C, aggregate of qualitative facts, and D, aggregate of heterogeneous facts. The correct answer is A, aggregate of numerical facts. Second question, a good questionnaire should be A, simple and clear, B, have limited number of questions, C, both A and B, D, neither A nor B. The correct answer is C, both A and B. Third question, measure of central tendency, subdivision A, mean, B, median, C, mode, D, all of these. The correct option is D, all of these. Fourth, events A and B are said to be mutually exclusive if first subdivision, probability of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B. Second subdivision, P of A intersection B is equal to P of A into P of B. Third subdivision, P of A union B is equal to 0. And fourth subdivision, none of these. So two events are said to be mutually exclusive if P of A union B can be written as P of A plus P of B. Fifth mean, if X is a random variable and A and B are two constants, then variance of AX plus B is equal to first subdivision A square variance of X plus B, second subdivision A V of X plus B, third subdivision A square variance of X, and D A variance of X plus B square. The correct choice is C, A square variance of X. Second mean, fill in the blanks by choosing the appropriate word from those given in the brackets. 5 into 1 is equal to 5. Sixth question, dash data are costlier in terms of time, money, and efforts involved. The answer is primary data. Seventh one, median is a positional average. Eighth one, dash measure of variation is mostly affected by extreme observations. The answer is the range. Ninth one, union of two or more events is the event of occurrence of. The correct answer is at least one of those events. 10th one, a random variable which assumes all the possible values in its range is called a continuous random variable. Third mean, match the following. 5 into 1 is equal to 5. So 11th question, questionnaire. Questionnaire is a mailing method. So here I'll write the correct answer, that is D. Uniform length of bars, that is nothing but a percentage bar diagram. 13th one, it takes all the items into consideration, that is nothing but the arithmetic mean. 14th one, coefficient of mean deviation is a relative measure of dispersion. So the answer is subdivision A. 15th one, classical method is a method of assigning probability. So the correct answer is F. Fourth main, answer the following questions. 5 into 1 is equal to 5. 16th question, define one-dimensional diagram. So a one-dimensional diagram is a diagram in which only one characteristic is considered. So here only the height is taken into consideration. Seventeenth question, what are partition values? So values which divide the data into an equal number of parts in a definite ratio are partition values. 18th question, define central moments. Moments about the mean are called as central moments. Nineteenth question, what is interpolation? The process of estimating the value of y for a given value of x which lies within the range x0, xn is called interpolation. 20th question, what is meant by probability distribution? A systematic presentation of the values of the random variable along with their corresponding probabilities is called a probability distribution. Section B. Fifth main, answer any 5 of the following questions. 5 into 2 is equal to 10. 21st question, define variable and attribute. So a variable is a quantitative characteristic which varies from unit to unit. Whereas an attribute is a qualitative characteristic which varies from unit to unit. Twenty-second question. Mention any two demerits of sample survey. The first one, sample survey requires appropriate sampling method and appropriate methods of analysis. And if the population is heterogeneous in nature, the use of sampling procedure is impossible. And thirdly, sampling errors are part of any sample survey. So out of these three, you can write any two. The 23rd question, find the harmonic mean of 1, 4 and 16. So the given data is raw data. So first let me write the x values. The x values are 1, 4 and 16. So let us find out 1 by x. So which will be 1 divided by 4, and then you have 1 divided by 16. So converting 1 by 4 to decimal, it will be 0.25, and 1 by 16 is 0.0625. So if I add up all these, summation 1 by x will be equal to 1.3125. Now let us write the formula of the harmonic mean. So consider harmonic mean is equal to n divided by summation 1 by x. So n are the number of values, which is 3, divided by 1.3125. So you get harmonic mean is equal to 2.2857. 24th question, if quartile deviation is 7 and Q1, that is the first quartile, is 21, find Q3, that is the third quartile. So let us first write the formula for quartile deviation. Consider QD is equal to Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. So which implies 7 is equal to Q3 minus 21 divided by 2. Next you cross multiply, so which implies 7 into 2, 14 is equal to Q3 minus Q1, where Q1 is, this is 21, so which implies Q3 is equal to 14, and when minus 21 comes to the left hand side, become plus 21, so the final answer is 35. So the third quartile Q3 is equal to 35. 25th question, define positive correlation and give an example. So if the two variables deviate in the same direction, they are said to be positively correlated. Example, X can denote the speed of a vehicle and Y can denote distance covered. So here we observe that as the speed of the vehicle increases, even the distance covered increases, or if the speed of the vehicle decreases, then the distance covered also decreases. So here you'll see that both the variables are deviating in the same direction. So we conclude that X and Y are positively correlated. 26th question, what is the difference between coefficient of correlation and association of attributes? So coefficient of correlation, it measures the degree of correlation between variables, whereas the coefficient of association measures the degree of association between attributes. 27th question. If A dash is the complementary event of A, then show that P of A plus P of A dash is equal to 1. So let's prove this result. We are aware that A union A dash is always equal to the sample space S. So if A is an event and A dash is the complementary event, then A union A dash will always give us the sample space S. So considering probability of A union A dash, this will be equal to probability of S. So which implies P of A union A dash using the addition theorem of probability is P of A plus P of A dash, and because A and A dash are mutually exclusive, P of A intersection A dash will be 0, and this will be equal to probability of the sample space is always equal to 1. And here within brackets we can write since A and A dash are complementary events. So hence the result is proved. 28th question. If expectation of x is 5 and expectation of x square is 36, find standard deviation of x. So let us use variance of x formula. So let us write the formula. Consider variance of x, which is equal to expectation of x square minus expectation of x the whole square. So which implies variance of x is equal to 36 minus 5 square, which is 36 minus 25 equal to 11. So they've asked us to find out standard deviation of x. So we know that standard deviation of x is nothing but the root of the variance. So it is root variance of x, which is root of 11, which is equal to 3.3166. Moving on to section C, fourth main, answer any 4 of the following questions. 4 into 5 is equal to 20. 29th question. Define Professor Horace Secret's definition of statistics. Explain any 2 of them. So, statistics may be defined as an aggregate of facts affected to a marked extent by a multiplicity of causes, numerically expressed, enumerated, or estimated according to a reasonable standard of accuracy, collected in a systematic manner for a predetermined purpose and placed in relation to each other. So, the definition should be written as given, and you cannot write it in your own words. So, please keep this in mind. Continuing with the 29th question, I am going to explain 2 of the characteristics. So first one is single or isolated items cannot be considered as statistics. So they should be a part of an aggregate of facts relating to a particular field of inquiry. For example, the height of an individual, the weight of a single person, the price of a commodity cannot be considered as statistics as these figures are unrelated. Whereas if we have figures of births, deaths, sales, production, purchase, profits, etc., over different places or time periods, it will constitute statistics. Secondly, statistics is affected by a multiplicity of causes. That is, facts or figures are affected by a number of factors or forces acting together. For example, the production of rice may be affected by a number of factors such as weather conditions, amount of fertilizer used, fertility of soil, variety of seeds used, etc. 30th question. What are the guidelines for the construction of a questionnaire? There are about 11 guidelines. Out of that, you can write any 5 for 5 marks. The first one, the number of questions should be as less as possible. The question should be simple to understand. Questions should be arranged logically. Answer to the question should be short, like yes or no type. As far as possible, questions regarding personal matters should be avoided. Any clarifications regarding any of the questions, if necessary, should be supplied in the form of a footnote. Seventh one, necessary instruction should be given to the informants. Questions which require mathematical rigor should be avoided. Then a questionnaire should be attractive. The questions are so framed that the validity of the information supplied by the informants can be cross-checked. And lastly, questionnaire should also assure that the information supplied will be kept confidential and shall not be used for disadvantage. So remember, like for a 5 mark question, just 5 more points are sufficient. 31st question. In a survey of 40 families in a certain locality, the number of children per family was recorded and the following data were obtained. Represent the data in the form of a discrete frequency distribution. So they have given us 40 values. Now let us write down some of the information which is given. So given the smallest value, that is s, is equal to 0, and the largest value is 6, and the total frequency is capital N, which is equal to 40. Now let us form a table. In the first column we'll have number of children, that is the information which is given for 40 families, and in the next column we'll be putting the tally marks, and in the last column we'll write the number of families. So the least or the smallest value which is given is 0 and the maximum is 6. So under number of children we'll write 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So number of children is nothing but x. Next we'll put the tally mark. So all you have to do is just count how many zeros are there in the data. So the number of zeros are 3. So put 3 tally marks, and under number of families, which is nothing but the frequencies f, write the number 3. Similarly, count the number of ones in the given data and you will see that totally there are 6, I think. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So we have 7. So I'll put this 5, 6, 7. Similarly, the number of 2's are 10. So since I've already counted, I'll write down the tally marks and then write it in numbers, that is 10. Then the number of 3's are 8. So 5, 6, 7, 8, and here you write 8. The number of 4's are 6. Here write 6. Number of 5's are 4. Then write 4. And 6's are 2. So write 2. And next what you can do is you just add up all these frequencies. So you get capital N is equal to 40. So remember that a discrete frequency distribution will comprise of only the x column and the frequencies. 32nd question. Prepare a blank table to show the distribution of students according to subdivision A college, that is government aided, unaided. Then B, faculty, science, commerce and arts. C, gender, boys and girls. So importantly, the first step is to write the title. The title should always be written in capital letters. So you can write blank table showing the distribution of students. Below this, you can write the table number. I'll write table number 1. Now what you have to do to form a blank table is in the first row you should take one characteristic, and the second row you have to divide it into two characteristics. So in the first row I have taken college. College are of three types: government, aided, unaided, and then we also have the total column. Then this entire second row I am dividing into two characteristics, that is gender and faculty. So under gender, for government college you'll have boys, girls and total. I'm using abbreviations which I'll explain later on. Similarly, aided college is divided into boys, girls, total. Unaided college also will have boys, girls and total, and the total column will have boys, girls and total. Now, under faculty, you will have the three different faculties, that is science, commerce, arts, and in the last row, you'll have the total. And for each of these cells, you have to put a dash or a blank. Now, because we are using certain abbreviations like B, G, and T, below the table, you have to write a footnote. Okay, so I'll write footnote. So under footnote, I will write B as boys, G as girls, T as total, and I'll also mention the source as register. 33rd question. The following data relates to the monthly expenditure in rupees of two families A and B. Represent the data by a rectangular diagram on percentage basis. So in other words, we have to draw a percentage bar diagram. So the items of expenditure are food, clothing, rent, light and fuel, miscellaneous. Then they've given us the expenditure in rupees for family A and for family B. Okay, so now the first step is you find out the total expenditure for family A. It is 5,000, and for family B it is 8,000. So the first step is to form a table, or you can construct in the given table itself extra columns. So family A is divided into two columns, percentage and cumulative percentage. And similarly for family B, you'll have percentage and cumulative percentage. Now, how do we find out the percentage expenditure for family A for food? So how did we get this 40? Okay, so how did we get this 40? It is for family A, the expenditure of food is 2000. So 2000 you have to divide by the total expenditure, that is 5000, into, because it's a percentage which we are calculating, we multiply it by 100, and on simplification we get 40. So that's how we got this 40. Similarly, for clothing, it will be 1000 divided by 5000 into 100, which will give us 20. In a similar way, find out the percentage for rent, that is 16, light and fuel is 8, and miscellaneous is 16. So when we add up all these percentage values, you will get 100. Then similarly, the cumulative percentage we have to find out. So first write this 40 as it is. 40 plus 20 is 60, 60 plus 16 76, plus 8 84, 84 plus 16 is 100. In a similar way, you can find out the percentage for family B and the cumulative percentage on expenditure of various categories. So how did we get this 31.25? So what you have to do is take the expenditure on food for family B, that is 2500. You divide it by the total expenditure, which is 8000, and multiply by 100. You will get 31.25. So I've written 31.25 over here, and you can approximate it to a whole number, so it will be 31. Similarly, the next value will be 2000 by 8000 into 100, that is 25. Next, you'll get 12.5, which you can approximate to 13. Then 6.25, we can approximate it to 6. and 25, you can leave it as it is. So when you add up these, you will get the total as 100. Next, we need to find out the cumulative percentage. So write 31. 31 plus 25, 56. 56 plus 13, 69. Plus 6 is 75. Plus 25 is 100. Now let us draw the percentage bar diagram. Remember that the percentage bar diagram should be drawn in a plain sheet of paper and not in the graph sheet. So on a plain sheet of paper, on the x-axis, I have left 2 centimeters. I'm taking the families on the x-axis. I've left about 2 centimeters in the beginning, and then I have taken 2 centimeters for family A, that is the base of the rectangle, and then again I have left 2 centimeters and taken 2 centimeters as the base of the rectangle for family B. So it's important that if you're leaving 2 centimeters in the beginning, then the difference between both the rectangles should have again 2 centimeters difference. Suppose you leave 1 centimeter here in the beginning, then the difference between these two rectangles should be only 1 centimeter. Then I have taken on the y-axis expenditure percentage. So each centimeter I have taken as 10 units. So from 10 to 100 I have taken. Now because it's a percentage bar diagram with the base here, for family A, you should draw a rectangle with height as 100, and similarly for family B also, with the base on the x-axis, you should draw a rectangle of height 100. Then you have to mark for family A all the cumulative percentage for the various categories like food, clothing, rent, light and fuel, miscellaneous. So at 40 you mark, then next at 60 you mark, then 76, 84, and the remaining will be 100. Then similarly for family B, mark the cumulative percentages, that is 31, then 56, 69, 75, and the remaining will be 100. So it is important to write an index at this side to indicate what each of the shadings indicate. So as you see here, I've used only a pencil shading, then I've used red color zigzag lines, then I have like black vertical lines or blue vertical lines, then I have again red slanting lines, and here I have some stars. So at this side, draw an index which indicates each of the categories. So for starting from below, first it will be food, then clothing, rent, light and fuel, miscellaneous. You can write the title as percentage bar diagram. 34th question, calculate geometric mean for the data given below. They have given us the class intervals from 20 to 30 up to 70 to 80, and the corresponding frequencies 7, 23, 30, 22, 11, 7 are given. Now because we are asked to calculate the geometric mean for continuous data, let us first write the formula of the geometric mean. So consider geometric mean is equal to, it is anti-log summation f log x divided by capital N. So now the first step is to find out capital N. So if you add up all the frequencies, we'll get capital N is equal to 100. Next, we need to find out x. X is the midpoint of the class intervals. So 20 plus 30 whole divided by 2 is 25. So lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2 is 25. So find out the remaining midpoints 35, 45, 55, 65 and 75. The next step is to find out log x. So find out log 25, which is 1.3979, then 1.5441. Similarly, find out all the remaining log values. Next, we need to find out f log x. So how do you find out f log x? It is 7 into 1.3979 is 9.7853. Similarly, 23 into 1.5441 will give us 35.5143. In a similar way, find out f log x for all these class intervals. and we will get summation f log x as 166.4291. Now remember to always take 4 places after the decimal for the log to get a more accurate answer. So substituting, we get this is equal to anti-log of 166.4291 divided by capital N, which is equal to 100. So it is anti-log 1.6643, or we get geometric mean is equal to 46.16. So you can just have 2 places after the decimal. 35th question. Prepare a 9 square with the following information. Calculate the Yule's coefficient of association and interpret the result. So now let us first form the 9 square or a 2 by 2 contingency table. Now I will consider the attribute A, which is divided into 2 classes A and alpha. Similarly, attribute B is divided into 2 classes B and beta. Now let us write the cell frequencies. So you have to just multiply this. So you will get A, B. You have to write it within brackets. Similarly, this is alpha B, which is written here. And then this is A beta. You have to use the brackets, which indicates frequency. And this is alpha into beta. Please write the notations correctly. Then here form a total column and a total row. So now let us also fill in the remaining. So corresponding to B, here you'll have the total frequency B. Then here beta, here A, here alpha, and this is capital N. So I'll fill in the information which is given. A is 450. Then you have B as 600. A beta is equal to 100 and capital N is equal to 1000. So fill in all the cell frequencies which are given. Now let's find out the remaining. So 1000 minus 600 is 400. I'll denote it with an asterisk. Similarly, 1000 minus 450 will be equal to 550. Again here I'll put an asterisk. 400 minus 100 is equal to 300. Similarly, 550 minus 300 will give us 250. And 450 minus 100 will give us 350. So once you have filled in all the 9 squares, draw a diagonal from AB to alpha beta and another diagonal from alpha B to A beta. So next we have to calculate Yule's coefficient of association. So let us write the formula. So first I'll write Yule's coefficient of association. So an easy way to remember the formula is with the help of the above table and the cross diagonals. So consider Q equal to the product of the first cross diagonal, that is AB into alpha beta, minus the product of the second cross diagonal, that is alpha B into A beta. So if you write this numerator correctly, same will come in the denominator with the plus sign. So AB into alpha beta plus alpha B into A beta. Now substitute all the cell frequencies correctly in the formula. So Q is equal to 350 into 300 minus 250 into 100 divided by 350 into 300 plus 250 into 100, which on simplification gives 1,05,000 minus 25,000 divided by 1,05,000 plus 25,000. So numerator on simplification will give us 80,000 divided by, it is 1,30,000. So therefore, we get Q equal to 0.6154, and the conclusion you can write is the two attributes A and B are positively associated. Thirty-sixth question. Using binomial expansion, ascertain the missing index number from the following data. The years are 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014 and 2015, and the index numbers for all the years except the year 2013 is given. So we have to find out what is the index number for 2013. And since we have mentioned the binomial expansion method, we are aware that we need the Pascal's triangle. So to write the Pascal's triangle, in the first column we have n, where n starts with 0. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on. And then you have the coefficient column and the total column. So under n 0, the coefficient is 1. Then when n is 1, you write 1 on either sides of this 1 and the total is 2. Then when it is 2, you add this 1 and 1, write 2, and on either sides of this 2, you write 1. And the total is 4. And then when n is 3, you have to add 1 and 2, you'll get 3. 2 plus 1 is 3, and on either sides of this 3 you write 1 and the total is 8. And then you continue in a similar manner. Now the first step is to find out how many values of y are given to us. So before that, let us mark the columns or the rows in this case as x and y. So the year is x and the index number is y. So this is y0. Then you have y1, y2, y3 and y4. So it's important to mark the rows. Now let us write down the number of known values of y. So number of known values of y is 4. So that is n is equal to 4. Now let us write down the binomial expansion formula. So consider y minus 1 to the power n is equal to 0, which implies y minus 1 to the power 4 is equal to 0. So now, which implies, because the power here is 4, so start with y4, leave some space, then y3, y2, y1, y0 and equate it to 0. So the first y4 will have the plus sign, then you have the minus, so alternating plus and minus. Now because n is 4, corresponding to n equal to 4, see what are the coefficients in the Pascal's triangle. It's 1, 4, 6, 4 and 1. So whether we write 1 or not, it doesn't matter. The next one is 4 and then 6, 4 and here you have 1. Next, seeing the table given, substitute for all the values. So 212 minus 4 into 157 plus 6y2 minus 4 into 107 plus 100 is equal to 0. So which implies 212 minus 632 plus 6y2 is what we have to find out. So leave it as it is. Then minus 428 plus 100 is equal to 0. So simplifying all the values except 6y2, you will get 6y2 minus 748 is equal to 0, which implies 6y2 is equal to 748, or y2 is equal to 748 divided by 6, so which is 124.67. So you can write, therefore, the index number for the year 2013 is 104.67, or if you approximate it, it's 125. Seventh main, answer any two of the following questions. 2 into 5 is equal to 10. 37 question, draw a histogram for the following data. Wages in thousands of rupees are given. 2 to 4, 5 to 7, 8 to 10, 11 to 13, 14 to 16, 17 to 19, 20 to 22 and 23 to 25. Along with it, the number of workers are also given: 2, 6, 8, 25, 40, 30, 20 and 8. Now, the wages which are given are the class intervals which are in the inclusive format. Now it's important that you find out the modified class interval. So you have to convert the inclusive class intervals to the exclusive type class intervals. So take the lower limit of the second class interval, which is 5, subtract it from the upper limit of the first class interval, which is 4. So 5 minus 4 is equal to 1. This difference you divide by 2 and you get the correction factor as 0.5. So this 0.5 should be subtracted from all the lower limits and 0.5 is added to all the upper limits. So the modified class interval will become 2 minus 0.5 is 1.5, and to 4 you add 0.5, so it becomes 4.5. Similarly, the next class interval will be 4.5 to 7.5, 7.5 to 10.5, then 10.5 to 13.5, 13.5 to 16.5, 16.5 to 19.5, and then you have 19.5 to 22.5, and the last class interval is 22.5 to 25.5. So now to draw the histogram, we take the modified class intervals on the x-axis. So starting with the origin 0, I have taken 1 centimeter from 0 to this point as 1.5, and after that I have taken 4.5, 7.5, 10.5, 13.5, 16.5, 19.5, 22.5 and 25.5 on the x-axis, which is wages in thousands of rupees. So the difference here between 1.5 and 4.5 is 3 units. So the scale for the x-axis is 1 centimeter is equal to 3 units. And then on the y-axis, I have taken the number of workers, which is nothing but the frequencies. So the number of workers is nothing but the frequencies, which is F. So I have taken 0, 10, 20, 30 and 40 on the y-axis. Now what is a histogram? With the class interval as the base, you have to mark the corresponding frequency. So for the class interval 1.5 to 4.5, mark the frequency 2. Similarly, for 4.5 to 7.5, draw a rectangle with height up to 6. Similarly, you can mark for the next rectangles height as 8, 25, 40, 30, 20 and 8. So a histogram is nothing but a set of rectangular bars which are attached to each other. And for the y-axis, don't forget to write the scale. 1 centimeter is equal to 10 units. Now here I would also like to mention that the difference from 0 to 1.5 is 1.5, whereas from 1.5 to 4.5 onwards, the difference is 3. So here we draw what is called as the broken line, or it is also called as the kink. So this is the histogram. 38th question. Following are the details of the marks scored by students in Kannada and English examination. The coefficient of correlation is 0.3. Estimate the marks in Kannada when the scores in English is 30. So this problem is based on regression. So let me write in the beginning that X denotes Kannada marks and Y denotes English marks. The other information which is given, the word mean means X bar is equal to 40, Y bar is equal to 50, and standard deviation means sigma X is equal to 10, sigma Y is equal to 16, and in the problem they have also said the coefficient of correlation, that means R, is equal to 0.3. Now because we have to find the value of X given the value of Y, that is we have to find out the Kannada marks given that the English mark is 30, we have to use the line of regression of X on Y. So let me next write, consider the line of regression of X on Y. So it is given by X minus X bar is equal to bxy into y minus y bar. So bxy is called as the regression coefficient of X on Y, and it has the formula R into sigma X divided by sigma Y. Substituting, it is 0.3 into 10 divided by 16. So which gives us 0.1875. Now substituting, we get therefore X minus 40 is equal to 0.1875 into Y minus 50. Simplifying further, so which implies, because it's a line of regression of X on Y, should retain only the X term on the left hand side and all the other terms should be taken to the right hand side. So you'll get X minus 40 is equal to 0.1875, first multiply with Y and then multiply it with 50. So you'll get 0.1875 Y minus 0.1875 into 50 will give 9.375. So which implies X is equal to 0.1875 Y minus 9.375, and take this 40 to the right hand side, it will become plus 40, and so therefore you will get X is equal to 0.1875 Y plus 30.625. So this is the final line of regression of X on Y. Next we have to estimate the marks in Kannada when the marks in English is 30. So when Y is equal to 30, X is equal to 0.1875 into 30 plus 30.625, which is equal to 5.625 plus 30.625. So you'll get X is equal to 36.25 marks. 39th question. A bag contains 3 white and 5 black marbles. 2 marbles are drawn one after another. What is the probability that both are white marbles under with replacement. Both are black marbles under without replacement. So let's start the problem. First, let me write the total number of marbles. I'll write given. Total is 3 white plus 5 black is equal to 8. Now they've said 2 marbles are drawn one after the other. So let us start with the first subdivision that says with replacement. So you should find the probability that both the marbles drawn are white in color. So let's define event A as first marble drawn is white and event B is second marble drawn is white. Please write the entire words. I'm just using the ditto marks to save time. So start with what is asked. Consider probability both marbles are white. So both marbles are white means it is probability first marble is white and second marble is white. So which is equal to probability first marble is white is event A and means intersection. Second marble is white is event B. So this is a case of with replacement. So it means that if a white marble is removed, before the second marble is removed, the first marble is put back inside the bag. So the number of marbles do not change. So this is equal to P of A into P of B. And the reason being A and B are independent events. So which is equal to P of A. A is first marble drawn is white. Okay, so there are 3 white marbles and you have to pick one. So it is 3C1 divided by 8C1 into probability of B, that is B is the second marble drawn is white. So you have removed one white marble and you're putting it back inside, so the number of marbles do not change, nor the white marble also changes. So again there are 3 white and you have to pick one, so 3C1 by 8C1, which is 3 by 8 into 3 by 8, which is 9 divided by 64. So therefore probability both marbles are white. Convert 9 divided by 64 to decimals. So you'll get 0.1406. Now let us find out the next subdivision, that is without replacement. So subdivision B, without replacement. So let's define event A as first marble drawn is black and event B is second marble drawn is black. So consider probability both marbles are black. So this means it is probability first marble is black and second marble is black. underline and. So this is equal to first marble is black is event A and is intersection. Second marble is black is event B. Now this is because it is a case of without replacement. Without replacement means you have removed the first black marble and then you are not putting it back inside the bag, and then you are removing the second marble. So there is a condition here, that is the marble which you are drawing is not put back inside the bag before the second draw is made. So this is based on conditional probability. So using the theorem of multiplication, so you will get P of A intersection B as P of A into P of B given A. So this is equal to probability of A means first marble drawn is black. If you recollect how many black marbles are there? 5 black marbles are there and you want to pick one. So it is 5C1 divided by 8C1 into P of B given A. So P of B given A means what? We should find out the probability second marble drawn is black. Okay, given that the first marble drawn was also black and now this marble is not put back inside the box. So in the box there were 5 black marbles, and because you're not putting back the first black marble inside, there are only 4. From 4 black marbles you have to pick one, so 4C1, and the total number of marbles also would have reduced, it is 7C1. So it is 5 by 8 into 4 divided by 7. So it is 20 divided by, so it's 20 divided by 56. So therefore we get probability both marbles are black is equal to 0.3571. 40th question. Find the mean and variance of the following distribution. They have given us the x values as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and the corresponding probabilities are given, which are P of x. Now I am rewriting the table. The x values I'll write it as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. P of x, I'll convert them into decimals as the denominators are different. So 3 by 8, when we convert it to decimal, it's 0.375. 1 by 4 is 0.25. 1 by 8 is 0.125. 3 by 16 is 0.1875 and 1 by 16 is 0.0625. Now, if we add up all these probabilities, you will get the total, that is summation P of x should be equal to 1. Next, to find out the mean, so let me write the formula so that you will know what rows you're supposed to form. The mean is denoted by E of x, that is expectation of x, is summation over x, x P of x. So what you have to do now is you have to multiply x into P of x. So 0 into 0.375 is 0. 1 into 0.25 is 0.25. 2 into 0.125 is 0.25. 3 into 0.1875 is 0.5625 and 4 into 0.0625 is 0.25. Now add up this particular row and it will give you summation xp of x, which is equal to 1.3125. Small clarification, it is 1.3175. Similarly, we also need x squared p of x, that is used to find out expectation of x squared. So 0 into 0 is 0, 1 into 0.25 is 0.25, 2 into 0.25 is 0.5, 3 into 0.5625 is 1.6875 and 4 into 0.25 gives us 1. So next find out summation x squared p of x, which is equal to 3.4375. So from the table we have The mean, that is expectation of x, is 1.3175. Next, they have also said that we have to find out the variance. So let us write down variance formula. So consider variance of x is equal to, it is expectation of x square minus expectation of x the whole square. So where we have to write the formula for expectation of x square, it is summation over x square p of x, and from the table this is 3.4375. Now let us substitute. So therefore, variance of x is equal to, for e of x square, substitute 3.4375 minus e of x the whole square means 1.3175 the whole square. So this is 3.4375 minus 1.7358, which is 1.7017. Section D, 8th main, answer any two of the following questions. 2 into 10 is equal to 20. So 41st question, calculate Pearson's coefficient of skewness from the following data. So they have given us marks in the form of class intervals, and they have also given us the number of students. The first step is to mark marks as class interval and number of students as F. Add up all the frequencies, you get capital N is equal to 150. Next, I will find out the midpoints of each of the class intervals. So 0 plus 10 is 10, 10 divided by 2 is 5. Next is 10 plus 20 is 30, 30 divided by 2 is 15. Similarly, you get 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, which are the midpoints for all the class intervals. Now, the first step is to check if any of the maximum frequencies are repeating. So here in this frequency column, 40 is the maximum frequency and it is repeating twice. That means mode is ill-defined, okay, or the data is ill-defined. So the formula which we have to use is Carl Pearson's coefficient of skewness, that is Sk is equal to, it is 3 into x bar minus m divided by sigma. Suppose the given distribution was not ill-defined, then skewness would have been mean minus mode divided by sigma. But in this case, because the data is ill-defined, we have to use skewness is equal to 3 into x bar minus m divided by sigma. So now let us write the formula for x bar, which is the arithmetic mean. It is summation fx divided by capital N. So now in the table, form the next column as fx. So it is 10 into 5 is 50, 40 into 15 is 600, and so on. So next, calculate all the fx values, and when you add them up, you will get summation fx as 5890. Then similarly, I'll also find out fx square because it will be required for the sigma calculation. So fx square is obtained by multiplying fx into the x column. So 50 into 5 is 250, 600 into 15 is 9000, and so on. So in a similar way, find out the fx square values for all the class intervals, and so you will get summation fx square as 3,09,350. We will also be requiring the cumulative frequencies to calculate the median. So write the first frequency 10 as it is, then 10 plus 40 is 50, 50 plus 20 is 70, 70 plus 0 is 70, 70 plus 10 80, 80 plus 40 120, 120 plus 16 126, and 126 plus 14 is 150. Always the last less than CF will match with capital N. Now let's go back to our calculation. So summation fx is 5890 divided by 150. So therefore you will get x bar as 39.27. 42nd question. Calculate the coefficient of correlation for the following data. So you have the x variables class interval 75 to 125, 125 to 175, 175 to 225, 225 to 275. And the y variables class intervals are 5 to 15, 15 to 25, 25 to 35, 35 to 45. In the problem, they have given the joint frequencies as 4 1 blank blank 7 6 2 1 1 3 4 2 1 1 3 4. Now the first step is to find out the frequencies for x and also find out the frequencies for y. So add up 4 plus 1, you get 5. Next 7 plus 6 plus 2 plus 1 is 16. 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 2 is 10. 1 plus 1 plus 3 plus 4 is 9. In a similar way, add up for each of the columns. 4 plus 7 plus 1 plus 1 is 13. 1 plus 6 plus 3 plus 1 is 11. Then here it is blank, so it's taken as 0. So 0 plus 2 plus 4 plus 3 is 9. Then similarly 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 4 is 7. So when you add up these frequencies and these frequencies, you get capital N is equal to 40. The next step is to find out x. X, you know, is the midpoint of the class interval. 75 plus 125 whole divided by 2 gives us 100. Similarly, the next class interval's midpoint is 150, 200 and 250. In a similar way, find out y. Y is nothing but the midpoint of the y variables class intervals. 5 plus 15 divided by 2 is 10, then 20, 30 and 40. Then we need to find out fx. So 5 into 100, 500, 16 into 150, 2400. Similarly, you get 2000, 2250 and summation fx is 7150. Next, find out fx square. So how do we get fx square? It is fx into x. So 500 into 100 is 50,000. Then 3,60,000, 4 lakh, 5,62,500. Then add up all these values. You'll get summation fx square. That is 13,72,500. In a similar way, find out fy. So 13 into 10 is 130. 11 into 20 is 220. Then you get 270, 280. Summation fy is 900. In a similar way, find out fy square, which is fy into y. 130 into 10 is 1300. 220 into 20 is 4400. Then you get 8100, 11200, and summation fy square is 25,000. Now next what we have to do is we have to find out the values in these small cells. So the values in these small cells are nothing but f into x into y. So I will show you now how to calculate the values in these small squares, which is nothing but f into x into y. So let's do the calculation carefully. So this is f, then multiply it by 100, that is x, and then multiply by the corresponding y value, which is 10. So this is f into x into y gives the value in the small cells. So these are nothing but f into x into y. So similarly, the next one is 1 into 100 into 20 gives 2000, and whenever it's a blank it means it is 0, so 0 multiplied by any number is 0, so directly write 0 here and 0. In a similar way, you can find out all these values in the small cells, and it is obtained by multiplying the corresponding frequency into the x value into the y value. Next, the last column which we form is summation fxy. So if we add the values in each of these small squares, so 4000 plus 2000 plus 0 plus 0 is 6000. Similarly, 10,500 plus 18,000 plus 9,000 plus 6,000 is 43,500. In a similar way, find out the totals of the values in each of the cells. So you'll get 54,000, 70,000, and when you add up all these summation fxy, you get double summation fxy is 1,73,500. Similarly, the last row is summation fxy, so 4000 plus 10,500 plus 2000 plus 2,500 gives 19,000. Similarly, add up the values in the small cells to find out summation fxy, so we get 37,000, then 55,500, 62,000, and double summation fxy is 1,73,500. So always note that these two totals should be the same. Now let us consider the formula for Karl Pearson's correlation coefficient. So this is Karl Pearson's correlation coefficient, which has the formula R is equal to capital N into double summation fxy minus summation fx into summation fy by root of n times summation fx square minus summation fx the whole square into root of n times summation fy square minus summation fy the whole square. Substituting, we get 40 into 1,73,500 minus 7,150 into 900 divided by root of 40 into 13 tax 72,500 minus 7,150 the whole square into root of 40 into 25,000 minus 900 square. So on further simplification, you get R is equal to 0.0596. So you can conclude, therefore, the variables x and y are positively correlated. Forty-third question, subdivision A, state and prove addition theorem of probability for any two events. So the statement is, let A and B be two events with respective probabilities P of A and P of B. Then the probability of occurrence of at least one of these events is P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. So the statement carries 2 marks and the proof will carry 3 marks. So first, let us consider a random experiment which results in n mutually exclusive, equally likely and exhaustive outcomes. Let m1 of these outcomes be favorable to event A, and let m2 of these outcomes be favorable to event B, and let P of these outcomes be favorable to A intersection B. So here we have the Venn diagram where the sample space is denoted by S and it contains the total number of favorable outcomes, which is N, and this blue color circle denotes event A and the orange color denotes event B. And we know that M1 outcomes are favorable to event A and M2 outcomes are favorable to event B. Then the common outcomes which are favorable to both A and B is in white color and it's denoted by P. So now let's consider probability of A formula, which is number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes, which will be m1 by n. Similarly, probability of B will be m2 by n. And probability of A intersection B will be P divided by n. So therefore, the number of favorable outcomes for A union B will be m1 plus m2 minus P. So probability of A union B will be m1 plus m2 minus P divided by n using the formula number of favorable outcomes by total number of outcomes. Then each term in the numerator will be divided by n. So you'll get m1 by n plus m2 by n minus P by n. So m1 by n is nothing but P of A. M2 by n is probability of B and P by n is probability of A intersection B. So we get P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. We next calculate the median. So for the median, we have to calculate n divided by 2, which is 150 divided by 2 is equal to 75. In the CF column, find the value which is greater than or equal to 75 and then check what is the corresponding class interval that is called as the median class, and in this case the median class is 40 to 50. Then the median is calculated using the formula m is equal to L plus, it is n by 2 minus C into h divided by f. So where L is the lower limit of the median class, which is 40. Then C is the cumulative frequency preceding the median class, which is 70. H is the width of the median class, that is 50 minus 40 is 10. And H is the width of, and F is the frequency of the median class, which is also 10. So substituting, you'll get m is equal to 40 plus 75 minus 70 into 10 divided by 10. So the 10s will get cancelled. This is equal to 40 plus 5. So you get median is equal to 45 marks. Now the next calculation is the standard deviation. So consider the formula of the standard deviation for continuous data, that is sigma is equal to root. It is summation fx square by capital N minus summation fx by n the whole square. So which is equal to root of 3,09,350 divided by 150 minus summation fx by n is nothing but x bar, that is 39.27 the whole square. So which is equal to root 2062.3333 minus 1542.1329, and on simplification you will get sigma equal to 22.81 marks. Now let us substitute in Carl-Pearson's coefficient of skewness formula. So therefore skewness is equal to, it is 3 into 39.27 minus 45 divided by 22.81. So therefore skewness is equal to minus 0.7536, and so the conclusion, the given distribution is negatively skewed. Subdivision B, a bag has 3 1 rupee, 4 2 rupees and 2 5 rupee coins. A boy picks 2 coins at random from the bag. What is the expectation of the amount of the coins? So first, let us start the problem. Let capital X denote amount obtained by the boy in rupees. Then the probability distribution of the random variable X is, so a probability distribution is nothing but a table which will have the X values in the first row, and it will have the corresponding probabilities, that is P of X, in the next row. So before we form the probability distribution, we have to do certain calculations, and I'm doing the calculations at the side in the form of this table. In the first column I have coins, in the second column I have amount, in the third column I have total, which is nothing but X, and then I have the probabilities, which is P of X. So now because a boy is picking two coins, he can pick two 1 rupee coins. So the amount will be 1. So 2 into 1 is equal to 2. Or the boy can pick two 2 rupee coins. So it will be 2 into 2 is 4. Or the boy can pick two 5 rupee coins. So it is 2 into 5 is 10. Or there is a possibility he can pick one 1 rupee coin and he can pick one 2 rupee coin. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Or he can pick one 2 rupee coin and one 5 rupees coin. So it will be 2 plus 5 is 7. Or lastly, he can pick one 1 rupee coin and one 5 rupee coin. So 1 plus 5 is equal to 6. So now let us find the probability of him picking two 1 rupee coins. So let me write here given. So the total number of coins are in the bag. There are 3 1 rupee coins. There are 4 2 rupee coins and there are 2 5 rupee coins. So totally it is 3 plus 4 is 7 plus 2 is 9. So n will be equal to, totally there are 9 coins and he has to pick 2 coins. So it is 9C2, which is equal to 36. So now let us find out what is the probability of him picking two 1 rupee coins. So there are 3 1 rupee coins and he has to pick only 2. So it is 3C2 divided by 9C2, which is nothing but 36. So remember that we are using the formula m divided by n throughout. So simplifying this, you will get 3 divided by 36. Similarly, what is the probability of him picking two 2 rupee coins? There are 4 2 rupee coins and he has to pick 2. So it is 4C2 divided by n, which is 36. So this simplifies to, let me just check this. It is 6 divided by 36. So similarly, next is he can pick two 5 rupee coins. So the amount is 10. Okay, how many 5 rupee coins are there? There are two 5 rupee coins and he has to pick two. So it is 2C2 divided by 36, which is 1 divided by 36. Or there is a possibility that he can pick one 1 rupee coin and means it is multiplication, and one 2 rupee coin. So what is the probability of this? There are 3 1 rupee coins and he has to pick one. So 3C1 and means into one 2 rupee coin. So 4C1 divided by the total, that is 36. So 3C1 is 3, 4C1 is 4. So you will get 12 divided by 36. Next is one 2 rupee coin. So it is 4C1. Then again and means it is multiplication. 1 5 rupee coin. So there are 2 5 rupee coins. He needs one. So 2C1 divided by 36, which will be 8 divided by 36. And lastly, 1 rupee coin. So it is 3C1. Again and means it is into 1 5 rupee coin. So it is 2C1 divided by 36, which is 6 divided by 36. So in the table, the x values will be 2, 3, then 4, 6, 7 and 10. That is what I've already written here. Then let us write down carefully what are the corresponding probabilities. So for 2, it is 3 by 36. For 3, it is 12 by 36. For 4, it is 6 by 36. For 6, again, it is 6 by 36. For 7, it is 8 by 36. And for 10, it is 1 by 36. So now if we add up all the probabilities, so since the numerators are different but the denominator is same, you can add up the numerators and you will get 36 divided by 36, which is equal to 1. So always remember that the sum of the probability should be equal to 1. Then next we have to find out the expectation. For expectation we need the row x into p of x. So 2 into 3 by 36 is 6 by 36. 3 into 12 by 36 is 36 divided by 36. Then you have 24 by 36, 36 by 36, then 56 by 36, and it is 10 by 36. Next, find out summation xp of x. Again, the denominator is the same, so you add up the numerator values, you will get 166 by 36. So now let us find out whatever is asked. So consider expectation of x. So this is equal to summation over x p of x, which is equal to, from the table, it is 166 by 36. Therefore, expectation of x is equal to rupees 4.61, or in other words, the boy gets 4.61 rupees. Dear students, thank you for watching my channel Statistics Made Simple. I have uploaded several videos on most of the chapters for first PUC students. Kindly go through all the videos, do a lot of practice on the different types of problems, and also solve the model question papers which I have uploaded. Thank you once again, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. All the very best for your first PUC final examinations.